Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. So in today's video I want to show you what fragrances I have finished in the year 2022. I have finished around 8 or 9 fragrances, I think, but before I actually show you what those fragrances are, I want you to let me know if you have finished any fragrances, and if you did, how many and which are those fragrances, and if you would overall repurchase them or not. So yes, guys, basically I will show you the fragrances that I have finished. A lot of them you've seen throughout the videos. Maybe you've seen that the amount of juice inside was getting lower and lower and lower. So yes, guys, without further ado, let's just begin. I want to start with a fragrance from Lattafa. You know I like Lattafa fragrances a lot. Some I love, some I like, some are worth it, some are not worth it, you know, just like with any brand out there. But this one in particular is called Anna Abied Rouge, and as you can see, guys, it's completely finished. Now this one, in case you are not familiar with it, this is supposed to be an inspiration of Baccarat Rouge, and in my opinion they managed to capture the essence of Baccarat Rouge very well. Now I have to say, I never thought of myself as the person who would enjoy this DNA. I have friends around me who love this DNA, but I'm the kind of person usually when a fragrance is overly hyped, like overly popular, like everybody talks about it, I'm not even curious to smell it. I don't know why I'm like this, but yes, for the longest time I was not curious to smell the original until I got a lot of questions. Have you tried Baccarat Rouge High 40? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you know any dupes? Do you know any inspirations? So I was like, come on, let's just try it. I went to my local niche store at the mall, smelled it, enjoyed it, and then let's just say a few months later I got Anna Abied Rouge for a review purposes. For review no. For reviewing purposes. So yes, like I said, I got this one for reviewing purposes and I was hooked on it. I love it, guys, I love it. There are a lot of other fragrances within the same genre and I have reviewed them as well on my channel. For instance, I know there was Violet Bouquet. I enjoyed that fragrance a lot, but to me it was a bit too much. It had something that I found it a bit too much for my taste, let's say. This one I would say it's softer, more easier to enjoy if you ask me. Now that one I actually gave it away to a friend of mine. I mean to my best friend. You've met her here on the channel, and guys, she loved it. She was wearing it all the time, people were complimenting her fragrance, and she actually had Red Temptation, Violet Bouquet and Anna Abied Rouge, and she loved all those three, you know. Now for me, my favorite out of those is this one. Now would I repurchase it? Yes, I think I definitely would repurchase it, but I am slightly on the fence because lately I got to test a fragrance. I already had this one. This is a decant. The fragrance is called Mersal with Love and it is by Afnan, and I have mentioned it in some of my older videos, but I don't know why recently I was very drawn to it, so I started doing like one spray here and there. And guys, I like it so much, so I don't know, I'm a bit torn if I should repurchase this one or this one, but one of these two for sure. I would say Mersal with Love, in case you haven't watched that video, is first of all, it's Baccarat Rouge on steroids with a huge fat dose of skanky oud. So if you are an oud lover, this is for you for sure. I remember I said in that video that I don't know if I could wear it out. Now I don't know if it's because I let the fragrance sit or because my oud tolerance, let's just say, skyrocketed after some oud fragrances that I have tried lately, but now I don't find it as intimidating. Yes, intimidating, or like not for me but for people around, you know. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so let's move on to a fragrance from the house of I wanted to say Afnan, but it's Armaf actually, from the house of Armaf. This fragrance is called Italiano Donna, and guys, my bottle is so like not messed up. My bottle looks like trash, honestly. I lost the cap, the dye is basically falling off everywhere, but the fragrance inside is very beautiful. I think this is my second bottle I have used of this fragrance. Now this to me used to fall when I used to wear it, used to fall in the whole like all sort of purpose category. I could wear this one when I went shopping. I could wear this one when I went to the office for meetings. I could wear this one when I went to a walk, when I went at a coffee. to a coffee with a friend. Basically, in a lot of different scenarios, this one worked amazing. Something that I liked about it was that no matter how many sprays I did for this one, it never got to be too much for people around me. I got a lot of compliments when I used to wear this one. Now, would I repurchase it? Honestly, I don't think so. I think 2 bottles is enough, at least for the moment. I have other fragrances, let's just say within the same, or like within the same purpose as this one, that I would like to add to my collection, you know. But I do miss this fragrance, I have to say. I saved a small sample of it. When I see that this one was like basically almost empty, I saved a small sample of it and I smell it from time to time, and I still do think it's an amazing fragrance. Like I said plenty of times, the packaging, the bottles are absolute trash. I genuinely do not know why they keep doing these sort of bottles, because their actual fragrance inside is very good when it comes to Armand fragrances. So let's move on to the next fragrance. Now guys, this fragrance is the fragrance that quickly became one of my all-time favorite fragrances. Like when I smell this fragrance, I associate it with me, you know, and a lot of people when they smell it on me, they're like, oh my gosh, this fragrance smells like you. I used to wear this one all the time. I still wear it, but not this bottle because it's clearly empty, you know. The fragrance I'm talking about is Sajaya Gold by Junaid Perfumes. You know, I mean, if you've been watching my videos for at least a few months, you know I have mentioned this fragrance so many times. Now unfortunately at this point this is discontinued. I don't think you can find it anywhere, at least I cannot find it anywhere. All the websites that I know used to carry it, everywhere it's out of stock now. I don't think they will come out with this fragrance again, but luckily guys, I stocked up when I could still find it. So I have this bottle that's now empty, I have another bottle that's in use, and I have 2 backup bottles of this fragrance. And honestly I would have gotten more, but then it just went out of stock everywhere, so I couldn't find it. This is such a beautiful fragrance. Like, this is such a unique fragrance. Like, I have never smelled something like this. Now, how it smells to me, you have a lot of cinnamon, so this is very spicy. You have a beautiful red rose accord here. You have a vanilla that's slightly ambery, slightly balsamic, and slightly smoked underneath. And you have, from time to time, I get a cherry-like vibe as well. So I don't know, it's a very unique fragrance. Basically, I have fallen in love with this fragrance when I got the decant of it. When I sprayed it on my skin, I was like, oh my god, this is such a me sort of fragrance. This is sweet, but this is also like very mysterious. It smells kind of exotic, you know, it smells unique as well. I do really like fragrances that have something unique about them. Let's just say, even though I appreciate fragrances that everybody wears, but I like my fragrances, at least my favorite ones, to be more unique. Now guys, speaking of Junaid fragrances, I want to show another fragrance from the house that I have finished this year as well. This fragrance is called Muatar Dahab. This is the version for men. I mean, it's like, let me show you. I still have like a little bit left of it, but this is because I want to respray it from time to time. Now, the thing is, I don't know if I would repurchase this one or the version for women. I'm like a little bit torn between them. So I feel like the version for women is more new to me, you know. The version for men, I'm very used to it. I love it. I would still 100% recommend it. But I think I want to get the version for women next to have a little bit of a change, you know. But either one of these two are either one of these two are fragrances that I would highly advise you to check out if you are looking for something made around vanilla. This one for men, even though it's marketed for men, let me just tell you, a woman could easily pull this fragrance off. I don't find it too masculine. Yeah, I don't find it too masculine. Honestly, for me, this is the perfect unisex fragrance. Even I think it leans slightly more on the feminine side, but again, a man could easily wear it. Now the version for women, that one is a very beautiful, sweet, rich, smoked vanilla pod. It truly, I mean, from all the fragrances that I have tried so far, that one resembles the most how a real vanilla pod smells like in real life. Now, it's not as balsamic as that one, but it has, let's just say it has a lot of similar nuances, you know. And also, something I really like about the version for women, it has soft, glittery particles in it. So when you apply it on your skin at nighttime, when the lights are hitting your skin shines so beautiful. So yes. Now guys, by the way, speaking of Junaid fragrances, hold on, okay. Now, yes, like I've said, speaking of Junaid fragrances, guys, I had on my wish list a fragrance called Badia Gold. And I don't know what happened to that fragrance, but it got so expensive. Like, and also from the start, the website that I buy Junaid fragrances from, they usually sell Junaid fragrances at more than double the price of the price that you would find for the for the same fragrance on Junaid's website. So it's like already like double, almost triple the price, and now they made it even more expensive. So I'm like, what's going on, you know? Like, I get that a lot of things like got more expensive lately, but now come on, like fragrance, like you know what I mean. Okay, so let's move on to a fragrance from the house of Ardel Zafaran. This one is called Jazab Gold. This is the version for women, and again, this one is like completely used up. I don't think I can spray it. You know, I can see like it has little bit of it left, but basically it's empty, honestly. Alright, now this fragrance, in case you are new or you haven't seen any videos where I mentioned this, to me this is a more youthful, playful version of Trésor la Nuit. Imagine the DNA of Trésor la Nuit. You take out the incense, you take out the patchouli, you take out all the darker notes, and you amplify the creamy vanilla and some fruity notes like strawberry and other like sort of like gourmand leaning fruity notes. This is a delicious fragrance. One of you actually recommended me to try this fragrance, and I am very thankful for that person because I love it. And a lot of people who bought this fragrance based on my recommendation, I mean a lot of women, they said that they love it as well. It's one of those fragrances that's very easy to appreciate. It's very easy to use, very easy to enjoy. There's nothing challenging about it, there's nothing artistic about it. It's a fragrance that's for sure it could be your easy reach if you enjoy sweet feminine fragrances with a very strong designer like DNA. How I look at this fragrance, I mean, I look at it as like a body spray, I will be very honest. I don't treat it like an actual fragrance, like an EDP, you know. I treat it more as a body spray, and this is why for me the performance, it was amazing for a body spray. And honestly, I think it's even more affordable than a body spray, so keep this in mind. Now, this is something that I do with a lot of fragrances, let's just say from Armand, from Ardel Zafaran, some of Latafas. Those that are not very strong, I look at them like body sprays, honestly, and I overspray them like 20 sprays easily. So if you're watching me and you enjoy body sprays as a woman, look into Ardel Zafaran fragrances, look into Armand fragrances, because you will find there a lot of fragrances that are inspirations of more designer fragrances, and they're even affordable than body sprays, and they last better than body sprays as well. So it's like a win-win-win, you know, like check. So yes, this one, would I repurchase it? No, I wouldn't, because I have found a fragrance that I love even better. And the thing is, at one point I had 3 fragrances in my collection that smelled like Trésor la Nuit. I had Trésor la Nuit, I had Jazab Gold, and I have another one that I will show you in a second. So I don't see the point in having 3 fragrances that smell like Trésor la Nuit. But if you just want one fragrance, get it. Like, I think personally there are like no reasons not to enjoy a fragrance like this, you know, because it's such a soft, feminine, sweet, delicious, easy to wear sort of fragrance. Okay, so speaking of fragrances similar to Trésor la Nuit by Lancôme, I have to show you another one that I am obsessed with, it, guys. This fragrance, I would for sure repurchase it. This one is called Modeste d'Eau for Women. This is by the house of Afnan, and I still have the slightest bit left because I still want to spray it to remind myself of how beautiful it smells from time to time until I get a backup bottle of it. Not a backup bottle, a new bottle of it. Oh guys, this is so beautiful. This is chocolate. This is basically dark chocolate, strawberry and cherries to me. You have that like fruity patchouli, but it's different, you know. It's more syrupy fruits, but like darker sort of fruits with vanilla and with a dark chocolate undertone, and it's gorgeous. I love it, guys. I was actually stopped in the streets and I was asked about what I was wearing, and it was this fragrance, I had it with me in my purse because I usually like to reapply my fragrances throughout the day. And the lady actually took a photo of the fragrance because she loved it so much and she couldn't believe how affordable it was. Now keep in mind I have oversprayed it, like 20 sprays somewhere over there, maybe a bit more, I don't know exactly. but I got such amazing feedback from people around me. I remember the same day it was during the summer basically. I was with my girlfriends out to a restaurant during the day, and I got there a little bit late. So they were all at the table when I got there. So of course I got there, I went to hug each and every one of them. There were 3 basically. I hugged all 3, and all 3 told me how delicious and amazing I smelled. And again, I got the fragrance out, and all of them started to, like, spray it on their arm and smell it, and they were like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. So yes, such amazing feedback from you guys who bought this fragrance, and you came back with amazing feedback from people in my life who smelled it on me. I feel like with this fragrance you cannot go wrong. Like, genuinely, I don't think you can go wrong. It's a darker, more elegant, more seductive Trésor La Nuit. It's so beautiful, guys. I have a video where I compare this one with Trésor La Nuit, where I think it's called like an in-depth review. Check it out if you're looking to get a fragrance that has a designer DNA. So this one doesn't have a Middle Eastern vibe at all, but it's very like dark, sweet, seductive. I think you would really appreciate this fragrance, and it's also very affordable, guys. Like, Afnan fragrances in general are very affordable. I even got I got a lot of samples from, I got quite a few samples from Afnan. I have tested, I am testing now fragrances like La Fleur Bouquet, which is an amazing fragrance. Like, I don't know if it's because like I'm maturing. Hold on, I have had a hair in my mouth. I don't know if it's because I am getting more mature, so now I start to appreciate more floral forward fragrances. But there's just something about that fragrance that's such a effortless, elegant, luxurious smelling fragrance. I think that fragrance is amazing. I will share my thoughts about it in the upcoming videos. I don't know exactly when, because I'm still testing it. From Afnan as well, I have been trying out a fragrance called Are You Serious? Which has a very like funky, cheap looking packaging. I'm not the biggest fan of the packaging and the name, honestly, because I feel like it doesn't represent, or like it doesn't match the level of sophistication that the fragrance has. Now, that fragrance again is very similar to L'Entardi by Givenchy and to Fakhar for Women by Latava, but it's like more serious, I would say. It's like slightly more. I feel like Fakhar for Women, teenagers could wear it, women could wear it, but I feel like Are You Serious? It's more for women. I would say like above 20 something, because I feel like you need to have the taste to appreciate a fragrance like this. But yes, again, I'm sorry I'm getting sidetracked, but I'm just testing so many beautiful fragrances at the moment, and I'm so excited about them, and I cannot wait to come here and share them with you as well. I've been testing some fragrance oils from a brand that I cannot wait to talk about. I've been testing some samples, some decants from Afnan, from Al Haramain, a lot of Montal, a lot of Mancera. So yes, I'm really excited for the videos that will come up next on my channel. So yes, I would definitely repurchase that fragrance. Now, let's move on to a fragrance still by Ardel Zafaran. This one is called Tif Al Hab. This is supposed to be, here it's finished completely. This is supposed to be an inspiration for Roses Vanille. And I feel like, yes, it gets the job done. Now, the scent of it, like strictly judging it based on how it smells, is amazing. I love the DNA. I have Roses Vanille in my collection, I have Intense Cafe, I had this one, I have the Hab Safi, and let's just say they're all within the same big scent family. Now, this one, I would say, out of all the fragrances that I have mentioned to you, it is the worst performing one and the softest one. So this is why I will not repurchase it. If I were to repurchase a fragrance within the same scent family, more likely it would be the Hab Safi, because it's just much better in my opinion. Performs better. The smell, I would say, basically, Tif Al Hab is more similar to Roses Vanille, while the Hab Safi is more similar to Intense Cafe. All four are beautiful, honestly, so I feel like if you enjoy one, you will enjoy the other one for sure. Oh, and by the way, someone actually asked me what do I think about Mocha Wood from Fragrance World, if I'm not mistaken, and I just got a sample of that one, so again, in the future videos I will talk more about it, but so far so good. I like it more than Tif Al Hab. I would say it's more similar, Mocha Wood is more similar to the Hub Safi than to Chief Al Hab. But all of these fragrances are beautiful, but this one I will not repurchase it. Now the second to last fragrance that I have finished in 2022 is a fragrance that I've had in my collection for a long time. This is from Ajmal, and this one is called Evoke Gold Edition for her. Now it's a gorgeous fragrance, very feminine, very like, yeah, it's very beautiful, honestly. I do really like how it smells. You have here, like, you have some fruity nuances, you have some floral nuances on a vanilla tonka bean base with a little bit of sandalwood in the background and with a beautiful rich musk accord. It's warm, it's sweet, you know, it's like a warm fragrance. But I don't know, guys, I don't think I would repurchase it, honestly. Yeah, so like I said, it was a fragrance that I used to wear a lot in 2019 until I put it aside, and I had like this much left of it, you know, like I don't know how much that is, but not a lot of it left, so I just used it up. And why I would not repurchase it? It's because it reminds me of let's just say not so beautiful moments in my life, you know. So I like how it smells, like objectively, but I would not repurchase it for sure. Yeah, now guys, the last fragrance, and I don't have it with me, was a fragrance that last year I have featured it in my most used fragrances, or like empties, and it was almost empty, and it was Uda Swat by Swiss Arabia. Now since the video I have finished that fragrance, I moved on to the next bottle. I still love it, I would completely repurchase it. I feel like it's a staple in my collection. It's not a fragrance that everybody appreciates, but I feel like if you have a specific taste in fragrances, that fragrance would be like a hit for you, would be like a gem to have in your collection, I feel like. Now my favorite way of wearing it, like I've mentioned, is layered with Shara Food by Swiss Arabia, even though I do like it on its own. But I feel like when you layer it with Shara Food, those two, they just complement each other so well. So yes, these were all the fragrances that I have finished in 2022. What do you think of them? Have you tried any of these fragrances? Do you enjoy them? I would love to know what you overall feel about them. And also let me know if you have finished any fragrances this year, and if you did, what are those fragrances? I finished quite a lot of fragrances. Now some of them were full bottles that I got this year. Some of them, let's just say, were older fragrances in my collection, but I feel like only one or two were older fragrances. The rest were all like new fragrances that I got in 2022. So yes guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. I will leave my handle up here if you want to tell me anything. If you have any questions about any of the fragrances that I have showed you, please put them down below, and I promise that I will get back to you. So yes, also if you want to tell me anything, again, put it down below. Don't forget to like the video. This would mean a lot to me, and this way you could show some appreciation to my channel, and it would also help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. So yes, thank you so much for watching guys, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye!